Happy Saturday, fellas. I just got back from a drive up to the mountains. We have mountains out here in California, or at least where I live. Solomon Williams writing back. He writes, so I'll probably buy that POF profile pimping from you next time I get paid. Got a girlfriend over POF, lasted about 3 months, and got another girl while I was dating my girlfriend, but I felt bad and dropped her because the girlfriend was a real good girl. And Solomon, that's what separates people like you and people like me. I didn't allow me feeling bad to stop me from doing what I did. Okay, and that's a quality that I admire in you, though. All right, that's an admirable quality. So don't lose it. Not everybody was made to be a player. That's what we got to understand. Not everybody is designed to be a player. Okay, it's okay to be a dater. I recognize that now. That was one of the mistakes that I made in early marketing. Is I didn't want people who were trying to be daters, listen to my player philosophy because it's like applying the wrong thing. Gonna head you for a train wreck. You're gonna come in with a player type mentality, and the girl expects to be a player. Then you take that player mask off because that's what attracted her to begin with. Because women are attracted to players, and then you end up being this nice guy, and then you get asked out. And I've seen it happen way too many times. Not only in my community, but also in the PUA community. Guys pretend to be these pickup artists, and they take the whole facade off when they finally get a decent looking girl, and the girl drops them. And then they come back and say, I reverted back to my old AFC self. Basically, they allowed their true personality to come out. Blah, blah, blah. All right. Where were we? Anyway, we ended it, got to see what she was actually like. Only problem is people I'm attracted on my profile is big ass women or African American women. If you're if you're beautiful, you're beautiful, I'll date you. But my preference in history has been white girls. Hispanic women or exotic like Indian, mixed. Don't get me wrong, I do like African American women if they're attractive, but I prefer the latter. It is what it is. Well, you're half American Indian also, okay? So you have every right to date Latin women, Native American, Indian, whatever, or other mixed like you. Remember, you're half. So let's not get that confused. You don't have to make excuses for what you like. Nobody's saying you got to date just black girls because you're also half Native. That's something that I learned the hard way when I finally watched a program on Black American Indians and listened to their side of the story. Okay, Adig Borm. Hello, I'm a 23-year-old male and need help. I've only been with one woman. I know I'm attractive because girls approach me, see my frequently, and they don't sometimes. And if they don't sometimes, they send me choosing signals. I'm black. I would say at least 6 or 7 out of every 10. If they're approaching you, then you're probably a little bit higher than a 6 or 7. Okay? Oh, I would say at least 6 out of 7 every 10 black girls throw me signals. Okay, so you're not rating yourself. You're saying 6 out of 7 out of every, or 6, 7 out of every 10 black girls will give you signals. Maybe half of every 10 Mexican girls, and maybe 2 out of 10 for white girls. Remember I told you, black guys, that usually your ratio will be about 2 to 5%? There we go. More proof of that. And that's just him on the streets. Okay? Rarely do Asians sing signals. That is the Asian culture, and Asian women, they actually prefer to stay with their own. Unless they date someone that's non-black. We're the least race that Asians want to date. It's considered dropping down the totem pole. Okay? And I please, none of the black fellas, no bullshit. That's the way it really is. I give you guys the brutal truth. Like that shit about bordellos in Europe and all that. I give you guys the brutal truth. I'm not going to sugarcoat shit or lie about shit. I see it as it really is. And it's kind of interesting. I was just talking about that earlier with Jovina, that I would like to go to church. But it would be hard for me to find a church where I'd feel comfortable. And then I remember meeting this awakened pastor. He actually was awakened himself. We sat next to each other when I was at Denny's in the last few months. I think just before I went on my Aiden protocol, I met this guy who was a pastor. We were sitting there at the bar, and we all started chatting. Well, I started chatting to him, and turns out he was a pastor, and he knew about the Illuminati, and he was awakened. And I said, you know, it's very rare to meet another black man, another black person who's actually awakened. Now, right next to me was this other guy that I've talked to, and he was also awakened. But I talked to him before. So all three of us, you know, connected. Most black people are asleep. That's 90% of you guys, 99.9% of you guys listening to me. You think you're all awake and all that, but you don't really know what's going on in the world. I just watched a movie last night called, what was it called? Raptor Ranch. Now, I see things for what it really is. I saw it, well, for one thing, I was talking to Jovina about this on the drive up to the mountains about the movie. How I was kind of disappointed in the Jewish culture, the Jewish religion people. You know, there are a lot of them in Hollywood, and a lot of the actors are Jewish. These two Jewish actors, I don't like it when they do the Northern European names. And then act real stupid in the movies. Like Northern Europeans are stupid. Like one guy said, I'm Irish, and the other one's just a regular, you know, Northern European name. The taller one guy was like 5 feet tall, the other guy was taller, and he's trying to be like the athletic guy, the cool guy that skipped school, and that's what maybe they think of Northern European types. The same people, they don't go to school, and they all they got is, you know, their money, and they go skiing when they should be in class, and all that kind of stuff. And then they had the black guy. They really did my race wrong in this movie. The black guy was this big fat black dude. You guys seen the black dude with those big fat tongues when they talk at kind of things? I want me a little white boy. Of course he was gay in a big purple suit, and he had two fine hot white chicks with him. He was a singer and trying to be a singer, and he had this long straight wig on and a purple suit and a purple hat, and it was just disgusting. I almost turned the shit off, but I said, let me just watch, see what goes on here. So I noticed that they were making fun of Northern European people, descent people, and they're making fun of blacks. They pretend to be Northern European. Northern Europeans are stupid. They don't go to school and get educations. Because I know the Jewish culture, if you're Jewish, you know, it's pushed on you to go to the professions, all that kind of stuff. You know, become doctors, attorneys, psychiatrists, whatever professions. And I get that. I understand that. But I didn't like the portrayal of other cultures, so to speak. So it just pissed me off, actually. But when you're awakened, you see stuff like that for what it really is. Okay? Like I noticed the pattern since Obama's been in office. They're putting more black people in roles of superiority. Okay? You guys may notice that. They're like they're head of the FBI or head of this. But they always make the bad decisions. Okay? And the other person who is a Caucasian person is one who's always going to be right. And you're wrong. And it makes it look like, you know, they're trying to get this guy to understand the truth and see what's really, and the Caucasian person always knows what it really is about, and they're the one to solve the problems. It's been that way since Obama been in office. You guys probably haven't noticed that, but start paying attention. Okay? What's coming out of Hollywood? Look what's coming out of there. If they don't mind fuck you, if you're not aware of them mind fucking you, then you're already mind fucked. Okay? I don't let them get to me. And I totally lost his brother's email here to give a message. Let's see. I was talking about Asian girls. I'm not socially awkward, but I'm semi-shy, maybe. I'm not completely shy like I was years ago and run away from conversation. Now I'm growing, thanks to myself and people like you. I am starting to man up, but I need your help. I realize I was shy when I was younger because I grew up in a house where my every move was questioned or scrutinized. You are definitely from Africa. I am no longer blaming my past on my present and would like to grow more with your help. Well, welcome to the show there, Adigborn. Adigborn. Okay? Welcome to the show. Let me know what I can help you with. Write me back. Hawkins. Hey, what's up, Player Supreme? I don't know this dude is black or white. He's saying some hating comments on your page. It sounds racial. Okay, if you could, he's called Mr. User Guest. Well, with a name like that, it's obviously going to be some bullshit. Okay? So I'll try to find his comments and ban him, and I don't see anything under comments. Because they've changed, they hooked it up with Google Plus, I have a hard time seeing all the comments. You got to let me know where the comments are coming from. Let me hit the Google Plus thing. Don't really see anything here. Well, send me back a link to the actual video, okay? And I'll take a look and see what's going on just on the surface there, brother. Okay, message for the day. Today is Saturday. I gave you guys a challenge. It's interesting how that video got thumbed down. 5 weak motherfuckers thumbed it down. Because when you thumb down, I believe, this is my belief. Okay, I'm from the old school. I'm a man. I do things like a man. You've seen that. You've listened to what I talk about. So I come from a actual old archetype of a man's perspective. Okay? I'm not one of these new guys raised with homosexuality and I'm down with it. I'll wear some pink and I'll film out when it feels comfortable to film out. I don't do that. I'm what women want, what they're getting back to wanting. So coming from this perspective, I would never actually thumb down a video. And I've been to the hater sites. I've been to the racist stuff. I've listened to what they got to say. I've never thumbed down one of their videos. Because I do it like a man. If I'm going to say something, if I don't like something you got to say, I'm going to say something. I'm going to speak up. Passive-aggressive people, that's guys with fem in them, because that's a passive-aggressive thing. They'll go in, I'll film him down. Okay? I do things like a man. I get in your face. And we start talking. Or we start our little thing. But I don't do it, behind someone's back. I don't go up in there, I'm going to thumb you down. Now, I'm trying to teach you guys how to be men. And I know that I'm reaching a lot of you males. But those males who I don't reach, they're the ones that do stuff like that. All right? So that's what I'm trying to explain to you, other males who are trying to better yourself, become more masculine or more manly. Those males that I have not reached yet. They're still stuck in their feminine ways, their passivity stuff, their passive-aggressive shit. If they're the type that, if some shit popped off in their face, and I've seen them, they'd be screaming and hollering, I'm going to call the cops! I'm going to call the police! Leave me alone! I'm going to give you guys a story that I've said before. I met this girl at Harlow's in my town. That's the night with that one chick, that aggressive female. She said, excuse me, it had happened now or not at all. And I tried to give that whole give a bitch your card routine. She threw my card away. It's either happened now or not. She wanted sex. But I was working on someone else. Fuck that. And I'm glad I did. Next morning, of course, I took her home. She was with what do you call it, the bachelorette party, and I got her away from her crowd, and she came to my place later on. We fucked, got up next morning, went to breakfast, and there used to be the Fox family, or not Fox, is it Fox? It's a Chinese family. I think their last name was Fox or Fong, the Fong family. They own this restaurant on 24th and J Street. I can't recall the name of it. Those of you guys that live in Sacramento, you know what I'm talking about. So we go there. She takes me out to breakfast. And I'm standing in line. They had a long queue of people all through the restaurant, and I was wearing a jean coat that like this, only longer, and it came over this guy's table. And I guess he was trying to be one of them. He's trying to be big and bold. He pushed me. He pushed me. I turned around, looked at him. I looked at his date. And I said, no. I went and sat down. I thought about it. I said, fuck it. I got back up and stepped over to him. I said, hey, man, you might be careful who you push next time. He said, get away from me, or I'll call the cops. So I blew up. I called him a faggot. I called him a bitch. I told him to stand the fuck up. Man the fuck up. He didn't stand up like a man. Okay? Didn't stand up like a man. That's that type. They think they're doing something big. He thought he's impressing the girl. I embarrassed him in front of his girlfriend. Okay? His girlfriend would never look at him the same fucking way ever again. I don't even think he stayed together. But you know, he's the one who started, of course. After that, I got nothing but respect from the entire, or maybe fear, because I went there a lot. I went there a fucking lot. You know, I went there all the time. It was one of my favorite places to eat. And you know, after that, things changed. I got my breakfast real fast, everything. But the thing is, the guy didn't man up. He didn't respond like a man. And I realized there's a lot of these motherfuckers. If that'd been another black dude, we'd have been battling. Okay? If that'd been a Latino, Mexican, we'd have been battling. But actually, a black dude, though, or a Mexican, would have said, hey man, excuse me, your coat's over my table a little bit. And it wasn't doing any harm, but he was trying to be, you know, Mr. Big Stuff, I guess, in front of his girl. See, that's where your bullshit, you know, pops off, don't even pop off. Don't need to go down like that. But that's man shit. And you go back and you stand up for yourself. You don't do passive-aggressive stuff. I'll give you another story from my past, because that's what old people like to do. Like to talk about the past. A club called America Live. I got in for free, club dancer. I had a little box I danced on. They loved us dancers, the beat boys, coming in there because we were good for the crowd. We excited the women, all that kind of stuff. It saved from hiring dancers. Our first drinks were free, all that kind of shit. Me and my boy, tall Big Mr. Negative, we were dancing on the box, and this guy gets up, elbowing everybody. Boom! You know, he elbowed my boy, and he said, "Hey man, this guy keeps elbowing." And then he got me. He said, "Hey man, you do that again, I'm gonna knock you off here." Boom! So I hit that motherfucker in his diaphragm. Bam! He fell off the damn box, and that was it. Until I got off the box, I'm dancing. You know, I always dance on the box. I look at the girls I want to do, I'm doing my thing. Hey, come on, get some all this. And you know, I got down off the box. I'm dancing with a bitch, and luckily I had a crew. Okay, there was about 5 of us in that crew, because this motherfucker was behind me with a bottle, empty bottle, behind my back. So that's passive aggressive shit. He didn't come at me like a man. Okay. So that's some bullshit. I'm not going to say what race he was either. I don't like to start no race shit. But I do things like a man, and I try to teach you guys how to be men. So let's get back to how many of you guys have got one female by your side right now after last night? How many of you guys actually got there? Or how many of you guys at least woke up to the fact that, okay, maybe I do need to work on some stuff. I do got some problems I need to work on. Now, let me explain my life, because I just had this talk with Jovina, because I was, you know, didn't like some of the things the way things are going. I get like that sometimes. I get kind of like an asshole. I asked her if she remembered what my life was like before her. Yeah, you slept with a lot of women, blah, blah, blah. That wasn't what I wanted from her. But I did. I slept with a lot of women out there. When I went to the clubs, I got hooked up. It's so easy to get laid in the clubs. And look at me. I can get laid in the clubs. If this mug can get laid in the clubs, then you should be able to get laid in the clubs. All of you. There's someone for everyone. I believe there's someone for everyone. Okay? You have 2 days to find it. Tonight's your last night. It's 4:04 p.m. in California. So tonight's your last night. There's nothing going on Sundays. So you got one more night to find a female. Now, watch the passive-aggressive types. Damn my video. Like I really care. I realize, those types, they just haven't manned up. They're like our children. They're like being spoiled little babies. Okay, they haven't manned up yet. So, you got one more day to do this. Then you have to admit that, okay, there's something wrong. Because if I can get laid or meet girls every time I go out, and I met a lot of women, but not all have made it through my criteria, because I'm looking for super feminine. I love super feminine women. I learned to not even waste my time with ordinary women. I got tired of teaching them how to be passionate. I started going for just the feminine, super passionate women. And I met them. Met a girl who used to be a dancer. Actually was a dance teacher. A Brazilian dance teacher here in my town, super passionate. Okay. Met a Mexican girl that lived up in Auburn. Head full of hair. Long. And she had that white skin type. Spanish looking. Although her sister was brown. Her sister was somebody famous in my town. I'm not going to tell who she was. I got a picture of her sister with Arnold Schwarzenegger. But I met her at a club, and I saw her dancing. And she looked so, passionate. I go in for women that knew how to dance passionately because I know they got a passion inside. And that makes for the best sex in the world. You guys have no clue. You guys who date those drunk skanks, those skinny frogs. Ugh. If you ever had a taste of real sex, of real passion, then you see why I was complaining about Jovina the other day. No, then you see where I'm coming from. Okay? You'll understand where I'm coming from. When you have a taste of real passion, man, I can't describe it. It's like describing the color blue to someone blind. You can come together. I don't know if any of you guys ever done that. I learned to do that with almost every woman I've been with, because I learned to figure out her timing. I could time mine to be just perfect with hers. I was a sex master. I mastered sex. I had a lot of practice. I didn't just sleep with one woman once. I went back for more. That's why I only been with just barely over 133 girls that I remember. I'm not someone that's been with like 500 girls or 1,000 girls. Just 133 is all I remember, give or take a few. So that's not a lot over a long period of time. So obviously I was spending more time with these girls, right? And there were periods of time where I couldn't find what I wanted. Once I realized that I don't like skinny chicks. I don't want to date another aerobic instructor. I don't want to date another ballerina. Cold fishes, dead fishes, fuck like a log. I wanted someone that was alive inside, that I could feel that connection with. I swear to you, it's almost like touching God, when the sex is so perfect and so passionate. That's what I hope one of you guys find at least once in your lifetime, a woman that you connect with like that. I look for connections like that because I recall when I was in my early 30s, I had it with this one aerobic instructor named Susie. I was dating Susie, and I was dating Susan, and I was dating Kathy P. Now, Susie and Susan were open. I was dating them openly. And people were amazed. I could date two girls at once back then. That's why I like that song Bobby Brown came out with. Why are people talking about me? Tell me why. Yeah. And that song by Timex called Rumors. Look it up. You guys probably don't know what it is, but it worked. It was me. It was all about my life. So Susie, she was half Portuguese, half Irish. Susan, she was half Italian, half Irish. Yeah. And the Portuguese one was actually more passionate than the Italian girl. she made simple stuff like chicken with tomatoes in it, whereas Susan made these elaborate Chinese dishes and all the stuff she spent a lot of time in. She was intelligent. Susie was just average, but she was passionate. And we could time our orgasms together. I could do what Susan do, but it was so easy with Susie because she could come so easily. When you find women that are very passionate side and very sensual, they can achieve orgasms like that. I pulled her underwear just in the crack and rubbed it around. She came. That's how easy it was. So think about when you got a girl that can come so easy with the things you can do just by just having sex. That's when I started developing actually the very base source of mind stuff, talking to him. Then a couple of years later, I was doing the belly dance girl, and that's when got it a little bit more refined. But think about what you can do with a girl that can come easily, that can achieve an orgasm with ease. Think about what a find that is. When all you guys struggle and you work and you do all this, you got to go down, lick a girl, and damn, I got a long tongue. Jovina doesn't have a tongue tick. Hers is like cut off at the broad portion. People from her race, they all have that tongue. It allows them to roll their R's. Anyway, imagine what you can do. You ain't got to work so hard, and it makes sex easy, and it flows. Think about it. Think about all the girls that you guys who are having sex. How they got to struggle and lift their buttocks and squeeze and strain and, oh, I just couldn't get there. Then you find a girl that's orgasmic. What a delight and a pleasure that is. The things you can do with her. The different ways, different positions. The different styles. Different holes. You called me telling the story of the MAC makeup girl. Never mind. I only told it to my guys on my forum, so I'm not going to tell it to you. So that's our show for the day, fellas. I wish you all luck at finding a girl you can truly connect with. Okay? Because once you find that girl you can connect with, it's like magic. It makes relationships like magic. It makes love feel like magic. All right? Good luck to you.